43 of what you're listening to. Are we live yet? Anybody here?
43. All right.
Yeah, 43. Yeah. It's we're getting up to 50. It's going to be 50 soon, right?
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's going to be a good episode today, as per usual. Elise couldn't make it, but thankfully Andrew stepped in at the last minute. Thanks, Andrew.
Anytime.
Good to see you again.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Comforting. Cheers. Mike's back. Good to see you again, Mike.
Always good to see you. Thanks for having me back.
Always a pleasure. Billy, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's going to be a good time.
I'm having fun already.
Yeah, we have. I just said before we go live, it's like we're having a good time. Oh, now we've got to do the episode now. It's good to kind of get warmed up. We sorted out the technical troubles. We're all set to go. We all got like 5 records we're excited to talk about. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, all those difficulties were me.
Well, I didn't want to say that. There's always someone. It's got to be some. Wouldn't be the same if there were,
the new kid on the block.
It's an old laptop.
Yeah.
An old man with an old laptop.
What are you going to do? There's 4 old men with 4 old laptops.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the housekeeping. Get this out of the way. There you go. Like and subscribe. Got a few new subscribers last month, which is cool. Don't want to push it, right? There you go. And then let's see if anyone's in the chat. Chat's important. Wow, there we go. Hey, Patrick. Hey, Rip. Cheers, Pam. Hi, Mike. Hey. Hi, everybody. Hi, everyone watching. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome.
Comment.
Great episode last week, Mike.
What's that?
Great episode last week.
Yeah, it was good. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's always good, but last week was a good one, even though I said Blois to Colt were from Staten Island.
Well, they partly are.
I've done worse. I've announced people
There's
dead.
one guy.
I've announced people dead on the show. I've done all sorts of things.
Have you actually killed anyone?
Not yet.
Was that the Motorhead artist you announced dead or something like that?
Yeah, Billy Bunny Carlos from Cheap Trick. Joe Pitagno, Motorhead artist, he's dead, according to me.
Right.
There you go.
They're live.
Yeah, sorry about that. But, should we get started?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
All right, I haven't done I suppose I have. The old short, sharp shock is back. I haven't really done a one for a while, maybe. I don't remember. But it's funny, we were talking about death, not the concept, but the band, like before the show. This has a slight connection to death. We'll get to it. But it's a UK band. I feel like UK death metal doesn't really get the respect it deserves, maybe for a good reason. There's not that much of it compared to like Sweden and other countries, but this is a classic, I think. So let me show the record. Going back to 1990, this one, Cancer.
Oh, yeah.
This thing.
Go wrong.
Oh, man. To the Gory end, it's their first record. They're a 3-piece from England.
Yep.
Came out on Vinyl Solution, which was like a record store in London that put out like The Stupid. They put out Poison Idea and The Hard-Ons in England. Record shop, record label.
I remember them.
Yeah, Vinyl Solution was a kind of big label and shop back in the day. They had a shop in London, Portobello Road.
I didn't even know about the shop, but I knew it was a label.
Yeah. They put out some good stuff. This is great. It's like old school death metal, like no frills, like stripped down. It's not even like that down tuned or anything, and the vocals aren't that guttural. It's got that kind of punk edge to it, which I really like in death metal. It's short. It's like 30 minutes long. I don't know. It's just hits the spot for me. I like the vocals a lot. They're more like kind of carcass style vocals in a way. Like they're not like too gruff or guttural. I don't know. It's great. The artwork's great.
They still play, right?
I was looking up a little bit. Apparently, they're still going. They put out a lot of records too, which I wasn't aware of until.
They just reissued those first 2 albums too.
This is the reissue, actually.
Yeah.
Yellow vinyl. Like we're talking about, these things are getting expensive now, right? The originals. So I'm kind of.
Yeah.
It's good that this was like long overdue. I would say that.
Nice. They sound good. They sound good too. So
this is on Peaceville as well. It's weird. The original was on Vinyl Solution. the reissues on Peaceful. Not sure how that kind of came about, but
Is Vinyl Solution still around as a label?
Do you know what? I don't think it is, Billy. I think it's like it's kind of long
probably
gone. I think maybe some of the people that work there like do other things now, but I think Vinyl Solution is kind of.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing them for a while.
Right? Yeah. I think they're long gone, unfortunately. But yeah, it's really great to have this reissue. And talking about death, James Murphy joined them on guitar like after this record. James Murphy, James Murphy from Death and Obituary. He's on the second album, which is pretty cool.
What a great guitar player,
right? Yeah, this thing like
spiritual healing, right?
Yeah, I think I think so. Yeah.
You can tell he added a really cool element to that record.
Yeah,
I feel like I bought that and Sadist Swallowed in Black around the same time.
Oh, that's another killer. That's another killer record, right?
I got them both on cassette at Zigzag on Staten Island.
Best bass player in death metal ever, probably.
Yep.
Steve DiGiorgio, right?
This artwork was banned too in like a lot of countries.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's like a painting based on a still from Dawn of the Dead. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But it was banned just to have the band name on the cover. I'm not sure why. It's not that graphic. Well, I don't know.
It's really not that bad.
By today's standards, no.
No, not right. Yeah, I guess in 1990 this was considered like unfit for human eyes.
I mean, think of like Reek of Putrefaction and that they're like
right? That's different to this, right?
Well, didn't that have a cover over it in the States?
Oh, Reek?
Yes, it did. The Carcass did, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Killer UK death metal, which people should check out. Back in the day, no frills, old school death metal. It's great stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch this episode later and take notes because I don't have anything to write with now.
It's okay. It's good to watch it back.
I have a notebook with me every episode. I keep a notebook with me.
It's good to watch it back so I can say, oh, Jesus, that's what I look like.
Yes. Yeah.
Pro tip: Mike posts all of our picks in the YouTube.
Yeah, about a week later, I update the
okay.
So
I always go back to that.
Yeah, there you go. Cancer. It's my first pick. There you go.
What is that? Okay.
All right. Mike, what's your first record today?
I don't know where I'm going to go first. I'm going to go here. So I was just trying to look up the year. It's the only one I didn't make notes on because I switched. I had 7 records. So I made a last minute decision on what to pick. I'm going to go with a 7-inch this time, which I don't think I've ever busted out. I bought this record because of the cover, because it's a very Voivodish looking cover. The band sounds nothing like that at all. It's a band from the UK. I don't know what year. Search and Destroy. Wow. This record is called English Terror Boys. And this record is a fucking sleeper, man. I don't know how this went under so many people's fucking radar.
Do you know about how old it is?
I'm sorry?
Do you know about how old it is?
Yeah, it's not that old. That's how old it is. Not that old.
Okay. So within the last 10 years?
Yeah. They are destroyers of rock and roll.
Wow.
You can see they're kind of skinheady, kind of casual looking guys. This record sounds like the first Negative Approach record with a British singer. And this record is fucking great. Like they even they kind of like the old Discord, the first Minor Threat. They did it like that. This record has 1, 2, 3, 4, about 7 or 8 songs on it, and it's relentless. There's a little bit of harder Oi influence, but it's a hardcore record. It's a hardcore record through and through. It wasn't anything like I thought it would sound like, with that cover, but people have overlooked this record. I don't know anyone except for some of my friends in England that really fuck with this record.
First time to see it for me. Never heard of it.
So there's that one. And then, of course, in true Mike T fashion, I have the black one.
Wow.
And then I have the test press, which is blue. And then this, of course. And then this was a special edition.
Okay.
A rip off of the Negative Approach
There you go,
record.
yeah.
Yeah, it did.
It's just a great record. If you can find one, I don't think they go for that much money. I just don't know if there's a lot of them out there. I wound up posting it once, and yeah, maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
And the guy who put it out was on my Instagrams, and he's like, "Oh, I put that out," and we did a couple of trades so I can get all of them, and it's just a really great record. They have a Bandcamp, so you could listen to it there. You can find, they do have a page on Discogs, but I can't say enough good things about this record. And I busted it out again recently, and I've been listening to it pretty regularly. You know,
and you put every variation. Unusual.
Yeah, I do. It starts out with like a kind of like a football chant, you know, and it's hard. It's a hard fucking record. It's really great. It sounds good, but it doesn't sound too good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of grimy. Again,
I know
it's
what you
got
mean.
that 82, 84, you know, Midwest hardcore, Negative Approach kind of sound.
Nice.
Real gruff vocals, lots of cool gang vocals. You know, they have you know, a song called Aggro, of course, so they spell it out. But, you know, highly recommended. If this is something you can find, if I had glasses on, I could tell you what label this is on, but I do not. Endless Quest Records.
Endless Quest Records.
And I mean, the English Terror Boys, that's fucking sick. And the picture of them in front of that Destroyers of Rock and Roll graffiti, you know, on top of the fucking oddly voivod looking cover, you know, had me sold. And then when I put it on, you know, I didn't expect much, you know, but I was like, it clicked, it checked all the boxes for something I could potentially really love. And since I got it, it's been on pretty regular rotation. So I try to push it on every year or so, at least I put a post up about it to try to let people know about it. Cause a couple of years ago, I think they were going to do some more stuff. So they did an Instagram page, Search and Destroy, look it up. But I don't think they ever wound up doing anything else. So, yeah, Search and Destroy, English Terror Boys, fuck with this. Fuck with it hard.
Nice one. That's a good recommendation.
Yeah.
Cheers. All right. Andrew, what's your first pick of the day?
Awesome. So, kind of connected to yours, Mike, a little bit, because you were talking about British death metal, right? And classics. This is Swedish, not really death metal, more like beginnings of black metal. So I'll just put that up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Blood, Fire, Death. Now, when I got this record, I never liked it. Now I love it. It's one of those things that grew on me over the years. I think the intro really annoyed me. The folk intro, you know, the acoustic stuff. Because when this came out, everybody was like a Slayer fanatic and stuff. So we didn't want to hear those kind of things. But it took a while to really appreciate. But how could you not appreciate that?
Oh, perfection.
That's amazing.
Gatefold, right? Can't get a better gatefold than that. This one has the insert too.
Nice.
Cool.
Insert with the 3. But the songs, I mean, A Fine Day to Die is a classic song, and Golden Walls of Heaven. I love it. I love this stuff, man. It's really like a relentless. Like once you get past that intro, it's just a banger, man. From start, and then it comes back to that outro, but it works. now I get what he was going for, you know. I just think it's funny that there's 2 other guys in this record that played on it. But anyway, it's cool. It's a classic, right? And probably the last good Bathory record. Right?
Oh, I can kind of go into the Viking metal.
Yeah, I get into some of that later stuff.
I never gave it a chance. Maybe I should.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Now that I'm older.
Yeah.
I was always like the first 3 Bathory records, and that's it for me. I'm a big fan of those. They really influenced a lot of people, metal and punk and hardcore, right? Nobody can deny it, right? Like one of those Motorhead type bands that crossed over.
Cordon was like a huge, he was a huge like GBH fan. Cordon.
Yeah, you could tell. And he was a fan himself, and I love in all the thanks lists. He always thanks all the radio stations and the fanzines.
Right.
And Ape Traders, and like he was a real guy, a real fan. You know, he's
That's
like
cool.
He's one of us, right?
Yeah,
But,
Exactly. He was a fan that did
He
records.
was a fan that did this, and hey, I want to do and revolutionary, man. Never going to be another person like him. And I mean, there are still bands coming out today on like labels. I hear they sound just like Bathory, right? Like a band called, what are they called? Death or something like that. They sound just like Bathory. They try to get lo-fi and bad guitar sound and all that, but it, you know, just
right.
They put the flange on there, you know.
You can't do it on purpose. It has to be like natural, right?
Yeah, I saw somebody posting in the group. They posted this. It was like a german record or something. It was like one guy who did like a complete ripoff of the first Bathory record.
Is that like Joel? Didn't like Joel Grind from Toxic Holocaust do something like that as well? Maybe I don't know.
I forgot the name of.
Is it Yellow Goat? Was that the name of the band?
I think so.
That's amazing.
right.
But it's really like he did an album just like the first Bathory album, but it's not the exact songs, right?
Right.
Yellow Goat. That
sounds like it. Looks like it. It's I have a yellow goat, by the way.
You have a legit yellow goat?
I do. Thank you, Dave Galgano.
Wow. I have a really great Japanese bootleg of a yellow goat.
There you go.
I'm lucky. I got one. But,
that's great. Holy shit.
Yeah, classic.
It's like one of those things you have to own, right?
That might impress me
if you get your hands on one for a good price.
Holy shit. Right on.
That was a while ago, but
probably.
I don't know what it would be today.
Right.
I'd be scared to know what it would cost today.
I think the last big Garden City show, someone had a yellow goat. I think it was like 3,500 or something.
There was no insert though. I was at the show. And it was 2,500 with no insert. That's kind of like
it was 2,500.
Yeah,
I know the people who had that. They're real good people. So
it was. Oh no, they totally. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly who you're talking about, Mike. And I actually held it in my hands, and I was calling people from their table, friends of mine. I'm like, "Do you need the yellow goat? I got one in my hands right now. Like, I could make it happen for you." And nobody bit. You know.
Wow.
I was like, "You're not going to get this phone call too often." You know? When are you going to get a phone call about somebody saying you can buy a yellow goat right now? You know, but whatever.
I think I bought Out of the Cellar and Bark at the Moon from them at that show.
Yeah, they always have good stuff. They always have like good Misfit stuff. They always have good.
Yeah. They always have good stuff. Like 80s.
Good hair metal stuff, like
Yeah, that shit.
Metal.
So I got a really nice copy of Out of the Cellar from them.
That show's coming up, by the way, Mike. There's another one soon.
September 30th, right?
something like that. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, but this is the Under One Flag press, so it's a British.
Press,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah!
Right? That's
I love those labels.
On, I think.
Yeah,
I love those labels.
Under One Flag's great.
Dude, I love this record. I never really got into it, but I appreciate it more now.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, nice. All right, Billy, what's your first pick of the day?
All right, well, I'll go with the only record I have that's even like kind of metal.
Nice, man. Raw Power.
Raw Power. Screams from the Gutter.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite fucking records of all time.
Same. Holy shit.
I actually have this in mic fashion. I have the another version of it on colored vinyl, but I don't know where the hell it is. Because my records are literally in no order at all. No alphabetism.
Wow, really?
Not grouped by genre.
That's fucking wild.
There's Glenn Campbell next to Bad Brains. It's ridiculous.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, it's just not in any order. It's just hard to find.
You don't alphabetize your records either?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
remember I had a meltdown on Sean when he told me that?
You know what? But I was too busy being drunk.
Yeah. You know what, Billy?
Priorities.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, I thought it would be a good idea to separate my punk records from my hardcore records. That's the kind of state. That was like just a ridiculous thing to think and then do.
No, I would keep them all mixed in, but I really should at some point alphabetize them just so I can find what I want when I want to. You know?
Yeah.
But this record is just like amazing. It's
Oh,
the
State
drums
of
from State
Depression.
of Depression, they just kick in and the record never
Oh.
lets up.
Relentless.
Did you know
You
Paul
ever see them
Laverne from
live?
Zero Boys produced that?
That's right. He
No, I
did.
didn't
Yeah,
know that.
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it took them 2 days to record it. That's it. 2 days
Ferocious.
recorded that fucking record.
And they were such good musicians too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
He
know.
said luckily their English was better than his Italian.
Billy, you ever see them live? Because I hear like a lot of people talk about seeing them at CBs and stuff, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I
never saw them, but
I saw them at CB's with Gangrene and Dayglow Abortions.
Wow.
Feed
I
us
saw
a
them
feed
at
us.
the Old Rock Hotel when it was on Jane Street with Bad
Holy
Brains.
shit.
It was wild.
you win, dude. You win.
Yeah, Bad Brains did 2 shows in 2 nights. Cro-Mags opened the other one. Raw
That's
Power.
right. He did.
I was at both, but with the Raw Power one, I love fucking Raw Power. So that one
That record stood the test of time so hard too.
Yeah,
Like,
this thing, I still listen to it. Every record I picked tonight, some of them are kind of old, but they're still, I listen to them regularly.
Right.
Yep. Great fucking pick, man.
Another classic, for sure. Yeah. Old Italian hardcore is like amazing, like that.
Oh yeah.
80s Italian hardcore.
Raw Power, the WAP Hour singles, fantastic. After Your Brain.
Yeah.
After that, Reptile House and whatnot gets a little less intense, but it's still good shit.
Right. That's a great first pick.
Amazing. Fucking cool.
A classic for sure. Absolute classic. Hey, have you guys? Did you guys ever hear like the unreleased album that Bob Marley did with the Ramones?
No, I never heard of such a thing.
I know you. I have
well,
this.
this is the build up. Yeah, it's just been released a couple of years ago on vinyl. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Is this a serious thing, or are you?
It's a great record.
Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out. Bobby Ramone, man. Bobby Ramone.
I remember that record.
Look at that fucking cover.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Bobby Ramone, Rocket to Kingston.
Yeah, I think I need another at this point.
Yeah.
Reminiscent of Wugazi. It's kind of like a Wugazi thing, right?
So this is the thing. So like this is like it's shrouded in kind of mystery and secrecy. Like nobody knows like who's behind this thing. I'm still not sure like how they did it. If it's like just sampled Bob Marley vocals like on top of Ramones songs. I've made a few inquiries. Can't really find out anything. I know that it was made by maybe it's either like one person in the studio did this.
I'm gonna write that one down.
But like you know, like you get these mashups on YouTube, and it's like fun. Yeah. It's like fun to listen to, right? Like once on the train or whatever. But this is like a whole album of like.
Some of them are pretty wildly well put together.
But it's really, really, really well done. It's like it's so well done, and it's like I've never listened to this record sober. It's like it's always like one of the last. Do you know what I mean? It's like put fucking Bob.
I have to
Ramone
interject
on
here. As far as mashups. Have you ever heard the Shakira Danzig one?
I was just going to say that.
That was the one I was going to give as an example about mashups.
Shit. I practically shit myself every time I see it. It's so fantastic.
Yeah.
And that Bobby Ramone's on streaming too, so
it's on YouTube, but like nobody knows like who did it, how they did it. But I think
I've seen that record so many times that I've never listened to it.
Like I'm not even sure if it's been released in the States.
It's a Spanish label.
Oh,
right?
It's been released in like.
It's been like, what the fuck is this?
I can't take my eyes off that cover. I'm gonna pee.
Yeah. It's like released in Spain only, right? Spain or something like that.
Spain, France, Argentina, Netherlands, Switzerland, Indonesia, Italy. It's been released in these countries on different labels.
Indonesia.
Cassette tape version in Indonesia.
My friend Frank is texting me information on this right now.
Oh, really?
Really?
It's just like, if you're feeling a bit down, you've had a bad day, you put this on, it's like puts a smile on your face. It's like so well done.
I gotta bust it out again.
I just wrote that shit down
a couple times too.
Yeah, it's just good time record. There you go.
That's amazing. I just wrote that shit down. I'm gonna
and you've got like the song titles. I Don't Want to Stand Up, You know,
Staring in my room.
today one love, tomorrow the world. That kind of
Wow.
yeah. Attention to detail. So very good.
Sheila was a bumba clock.
Next
Glad
album.
to see you cry.
I was thinking, like, you know, can they pull it, or can they do like? I think like they've kind of exhausted their possibilities. Like, I don't think they could do like a second album. This is just like should be like just a one and done, and just like forget about it because it's like it's so perfectly done. I don't think they could match it, but
Motherfuckers who know how to do that are fucking geniuses.
I think it is one guy actually, Mike. You know what I mean? In a studio,
I think they're witches.
Witches.
Witches. Yeah.
In a good way.
You know,
Burn.
they put like the band members' names on the back, but I don't know. We'll never know. You know, if it's a band or if it's one guy, we'll never know.
I fucking love that. So is it one guy just recording everything and faking Bob's voice? Or is it
I listened a bit more carefully last night for the purposes of this show,
right?
And it does sound like Bob Marley's vocals, like sampled
I'm gonna grab that
from the record. Yeah, that's why it's like they can't. It's secret who did it. So they don't want to get sued by the Bob Marley estate or whatever.
Fucking believable.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Comments that go.
I know. I'm like, which one should I pull up? There's so many. It's like
amazing.
I don't know.
Oh shit! Shots fired by Francois Derriere.
I'm drinking 3-quart bourbon.
Nice.
Billy, all you have to say is I saw the Bad Brains live. That's back then.
We'll get to
I saw them a bunch of times back then.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
All right. That's mine.
I went to NYU from 1980 to 84, so I just grew up in CBGBs.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Billy used to videotape a lot of those great old matinees too.
Oh wow.
His law stuff and shit.
I videotaped the very last Heart Attack show.
I'm telling your story.
Which was the very first Cro-Mag show.
Wow.
But it was like those ancient camcorders, so I only had like an hour of battery. Yeah, it was like 2 pieces. So I got the Heart Attack show, but Harley was like, "Do you want to videotape our show?" I was like, "I don't have enough battery." Sorry.
That's so good.
Beautiful.
All right, so I'm gonna take us to New Jersey.
Oh.
I'm gonna take us to New Jersey. To me, this is the best record to come out of New Jersey. It's one of my favorite bands of all time. It's one of my all-time favorite records. Andrew, I asked you once if you showed this already, so you might know what this is.
All right. This
was impossible to get in the States on vinyl when it came out. Saku. This is like Ripping Corpse, Dreaming with the Dead. This fucking record, easily, this band is one of my favorite bands of all time, easily one of the best death metal bands of all time. I mean, you got Eric Rattan, so you got, Hate Eternal, Morbid Angel, then the guys were in Dim Mak and The Dying Light as well. This fucking record, I still kind of love the demos, maybe even a little more, but I don't have a good copy of them anymore. But this record is just unfucking believable. Technical death metal. These guys would play this fucking shit. I saw them a bunch of times. I was at the big Riot show at Club Benet that Revenant played as well. Fuck, dude. These guys were nuts. And they would play this madly technical death metal while banging their heads 1 billion miles an hour. Their guitars up to here, Justin Beck style, banging their heads, doing those fucking windmill hairballs things and not missing a fucking note, drunk off their asses.
Best drummer, too.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon is the best.
Fuck. And it was effortless. It was effortless to watch them. And this record only came out in the States on cassette and CD. It was on this label called Craze that fucked over everybody. Yeah, which is why it's never been.
Relapse is supposed to re-release that, and they blocked it.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That bullshit.
And they got inducted to, what was it? What's that magazine? Revolver?
Decibel.
Oh, Decibel Hall. They got inducted into the Decibel Hall of Fame. Not that really means anything, but they this band live and recorded was unfucking believable. And this guy Scott, who sang, he had these gnarly like fang teeth. You remember that, Andrew? He had the gnarly teeth. And he just looked like a fucking sociopath. And I don't know, from top to bottom.
He was in Beast also.
Yeah, right. This record is perfect. And they, you know, they were the ones who would like scoop their mids out, you know, before it was like a big thing with like all the Swedish bands. These guys were scooping out those mids and just fucking killing it. Yeah, totally. He was a complete psycho, but a great, great drummer. And it was completely effortless. Like he would be doing these billion-mile-an-hour blast beats, and he just like, you know, it was like, and it was all really technical, but not annoying. A lot of tech stuff really annoying to me. This is just brutal from top to bottom. And like I said, Brendan wound up in The Dying Light with guys from CattlePress and Ibora, which was a great fucking band. Both records were fucking amazing, even though they're both. The first record was a little more black metal. The second record was just straight death metal to me with some black metal overtones. But yeah, this is the finest piece of wax to ever come from New Jersey. And there's a lot of great stuff from New Jersey, but this one in particular.
Adrenaline OD.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're my favorite Jersey band.
This one, I never know which way to go. And and again, this is an Under One Flag, so.
Oh, nice man, nice.
Yeah, and it has a huge 18 billion word thank you list.
Great.
It's got lyrics, and it's a fucking shame that, you know, people don't really get to hear that record unless they
reissued. Should be out there on vinyl every day for anybody to buy for $20.
You know, them along with, you know, Revenant was another of my favorite death metal bands at the time. Shout out to Henry Veg, and who else was around at the time? Whatever. Oh, Human Remains. Those guys.
Ripping Corpse influenced Human Remains.
I was going to say, like,
Human Remains is the little brother band of Ripping Corpse.
I almost broke that one out
used
tonight.
To play with Dimmock, who was 3 members of Ripping Corpse. It was the drummer Brandon, singer Scott Ruth, and Sean Kelly, a different bass player. I forgot his name. But,
and then eventually Joe Capizzi sang for Dimmock.
Yes, Sean Kelly though, we used to call him the Spider because we would watch him and he'd just be like,
yeah,
and it didn't even like sound as that technical, but what he was doing was just like beyond comprehension on guitar.
That shit that Human Remains would do with their volume knobs.
Yeah.
The first time I ever heard Using Sickness as a Hero just was like blew me the fuck away. Blew me away.
Didn't Piggy do that first though?
What?
Didn't Piggy do that first?
No, I think he was using a delay pedal really, but the way they would do it, like the speed that they did that at, you know what I mean?
No, I know what you're saying.
Like, I heard that and I was floored. But back to Ripping Corpse. If you haven't heard it, find it. If you don't find it, find it anyway. If you don't like it, don't listen to music ever again.
You know what?
You take our metal seriously, man.
It's first time on this series, but when Dave Whitty came on, I talked with him like 3-4 years ago. Yep. He showed that record as one of his favorite records.
I mean, that record it's flawless. You can't, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking what Seduction of the Innocent and Glorious Depravity, they're both demo songs. And they just take that shit to the next level, and it's like I've tried to learn some of those songs and been like, you know, all right, time to quit guitar forever. You know?
Like Chugging Bus is not your favorite song?
I love it, but those two are my fucking. And even Sweetness, again, another demo song, but and Cthulhu, whatever that song is, you know, what is it? Anti-God. So the record is flawless from beginning to end and should be influencing, you know, metal and hardcore bands for years to come.
Beautiful.
Next.
Andrew, what you got?
Awesome. So, you know, I was last minute for this. You know, I only found out like 2 hours before. I didn't pull any records. This is the stuff I was listening to all week. So
there you go.
Here we go. I'm going SoCal and straight edge hardcore.
Oh,
Great record.
Like them. This is the discography.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what I love about Hard Stance is, they had 2 great 7-inches.
Yeah.
And what was not really heard widely at the time was the demo, which is incredible. If you like Youth of Today, No for an Answer, SSD, the harder edged kind of straight edge bands, that's Hard Stance. And they also had the guitarist. One of the guitarists was Zach De La Rocca, Inside Out, now Rage Against the Machine, in the band. So they have a great pedigree, and this is just like not much positivity in this. I mean, lyrics are positive, but the music is hard, right?
Right.
It's not like wimpy stuff. Like Instead, I love Instead, but
they were pretty original too, though. Like you didn't really hear anything that sounded exactly like that at the time.
No, and this is the discography. Like I said, it has both the singles that they put out, Face Reality, and there was what's the other one called? I forgot. But,
that's a nice book. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, it comes with like a nice booklet, and I love this when they show like the actual demo.
Yeah.
You can see what the cover looked like, the demo and stuff. I never had the demo. I had like a shitty dub of it, but when it came out on vinyl, mastered and stuff, it's really cool, and give you a little idea of what they were like. Pretty wild. Strength through strife.
Oh,
very cool.
There's Zach playing guitar.
And that bass player was in Gorilla Biscuits for a little while.
Yeah, was it Mark Hayworth, I think?
The left-handed guy.
Yeah, exactly. They were both. Then they went into being State of the Nation or something like that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Why did I even say that? Sorry.
I don't know. I saw State of the Nation.
Typical discography, has all the flyers.
Nice.
They quoted No for an Answer a lot, which makes a lot of sense. Instead, they probably they opened up for Youth of Today all the time when they came out to California Bold. They played with Excel. That's cool. But yeah, Hard Stance. It comes with this one's it comes with a poster too. I love when records come with posters. I never hang them, but it's just cool as shit to have like those. You got to have the guy with doing the jump, the straight edge stuff.
I saw State of the Nation once with Quicksand and Rage Against the Machine, and I thought they were great. And then the record came out, and it was like, when Beavis and Butthead see something they don't like, I was like, ah.
Yeah, I know. Just Hard Stance always did it for me. Like growing up, we all grew up. 3 of us on here grew up in New York City. I'm from Queens, guys. Mike knows, but just Billy, in case you're wondering. I'm from Queens. Like I was always fascinated with. We had Agnostic Front. We had Sick of It All. We had Gorilla Biscuits. Not that we were bored of them, but they played a lot, right? I was always fascinated by Descendants, and all the bands out West Coast, Black Flag and Suicidal, and those kind of bands, but also the straight edge bands like No for an Answer. Got to see them once. They played at CBGB's. Instead, I was always just fascinated by that whole scene out there, the Orange County hardcore scene. I was always just like, as a kid, into that stuff,
It's funny.
I love
didn't really reach,
West Coast
it's kind of maybe how like people like shit from Japan, like, they can't go there and just see it easily, you know what I mean? So they're fascinated by the mythos, right? And things like that. So it's kind of how I was when I was younger. Always fascinated. Blast. I love Blast. All those kind of bands. But
Blast
is up there for me.
I
bought the 7-inch on a whim. I didn't even know what they sounded like. I saw it in the store, Bleecker Bob's. I bought it. And I was blown away. I'm like, holy shit, this is incredible. A band like Youth of Today kind of, but, West Coast.
Yep. Yeah. I'm not a straight edge guy, if you didn't notice, but like I always kind of like that back in the day. I always like those kind of like more like violent sounding like straight edge bands, like
Chain of Strength, right?
That kind of stuff. Yeah,
that's the best.
Yeah,
it's the best kind of straight edge stuff. I think.
Yeah. Even though it's like it was like not my thing, but like you couldn't help but like
Inside Out, of course.
Inside Out, yes, Inside Out. Yeah.
What they have a member of Ours Dance.
There you go. Nice.
I think actually the drummer was in Inside Out too. From Hard Stance. I'm not sure.
All right.
It might have been Alex from Chain of Strength in this band too. Yeah, look it up.
I'm sure a lot of those bands were like a lot of the New York bands, and there was like 15 bands, but only like 7 guys were in all 15 of them.
Right.
Yeah, Alex Barretto played on a bunch of songs on here.
There you go.
So not all of them.
3 members, Pam says.
Oh, there you go, Pam.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pam.
Yeah. Nice. I'll drink
But
to
yeah,
that.
good stuff.
Cheers.
Need a refill.
All right, Billy, what's your next record of the day?
Let's see. Okay, another old record. I should take it out of the thing.
Oh, fuck yeah.
All right, saw it already?
There you go.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Kraut.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful.
Another one of my favorite bands. This was my favorite New York hardcore band. Live and on record. I fucking love
Great
this
fucking record.
I know it's kind of sacrilegious to say anything was better than Victim in Pain as far as the New York hardcore scene, but I like this record better. I love Victim in Pain, but this fucking record's fantastic.
Great fucking
It
record.
actually just got reissued.
Queen's hardcore, man.
It just got reissued.
Yeah, and they're actually on Instagram now too. You can follow them. Kraut New York
Are they
official,
really?
I think it is.
And
They post a lot of cool
I've
shit.
Dougie for years, but I didn't even know Kraut had a thing. It was another reissue of it. The Red
They post
Archive.
a lot of flyers and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, they were such a good fucking live band. Ridiculous. I fucking love that band to pieces. And Steve Jones even, I think he played on 3 songs on this record.
I was going to ask you about that. Yes.
How did they get him to do
Steve
that?
Jones played
That's
on 3
crazy. You know the
songs.
story?
Huh?
How did they get him to do that?
I don't know. They fucking knew somebody because, well, Dougie,
Didn't he move to New
said
York after the
that-
Pistols broke up?
huh?
Didn't he move to New York or something? And he hung out. He lived with them or something in Queens.
Well, he lived in New York, yeah, but I don't know if he lived with them. But I know like their Kraut's bass player was a little older than the rest of the guys, and he knew some people. Like he knew the person who was the Clash's road manager. Their
Max's
first ever
stuff,
live
Max's
show was
people.
opening for the Clash at Bonds. That was the first live show they ever played.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Doug Holland was in that band, right?
Doug Holland was in Kraut before before Chromex, yeah.
Right,
right.
Doug told me that the person that was managing the Clash had told him he was going to, or I think it was that she was going to put them on one of the Bonds shows, and they didn't know which one. And basically, Don and Doug were going to pretty much every show at Bonds because they knew her and they could get in. And they were there one night, and it's like 2 a.m. They're fucking bombed off their asses. And she tells them, "Oh yeah, tomorrow night's the night we're gonna put you on." So these guys were like, they wake up the next day super fucking hungover, and had to get their shit together to open for the Clash at Bonds.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That is
It's amazing.
that's another classic.
Their first 2 singles were great too. "Kill for
Right.
Cash" and "Unemployed" were fucking.
I love Unemployed. I have both of those.
And they actually just both got reissued too. I have them too. I got them.
Cleopatra did it?
Huh?
Did Cleopatra do it?
Yes. Yeah. I think the Trust was actually supposed to put out the reissue on this, and for some reason it fell through and Cleopatra did it. When I bought the first single, I didn't even know it had a picture sleeve. Like I got it back in like 81 or 82 when it came out, and it was just like in a black paper sleeve. And for years I thought that's just what it came in.
Right.
Until I saw
Mine
somebody
has
else
the
had
black
it
paper
with a
sleeve
picture
with
I was like,
a
"What the fuck is
cover,
this?"
no insert.
So for years I was trying to find the cover, and I could never find it. But Mike knows Brian Gorsigner.
Mhm.
Does Ancient Artifacts.
Yep.
He buys all these collections. So I told him that if you ever come across the cover for this, I'll take it off your hands. I'll pay you a reasonable price for it. And he got a collection. The record was fucking broken, but the sleeve was good, and he just fucking gave it to me.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Well, he's a fucking awesome dude.
Billy, he's the singer of the Nightbirds, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nightbird's retired, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, that's Brian. He does.
That guy has had more copies of the first bunch of Discord singles and the Negative Approach single passed through his hands than anyone I've ever seen in my life.
He's the only one who ever. Every time I turn around, he's got a copy, one of the original copies of "God Is Dead," the Heart Attack single.
Yeah,
I was like, who the fuck has that single? I don't have that single.
I have it.
You have it?
I knew I was waiting for that.
I have a reissue of it.
Sorry.
I wasn't going to pay $1,500 for it, but yeah, and I was, you know, I loved I went to all the Heart Attack shows and stuff. I just missed out on the single.
It is worth it though. They reissued it. The reissues.
Yeah, I think I have the reissue.
I have the reissue.
I like the previous reissue. That's kind of like true to faithful to the exact reproduction of the original.
I have the.
You know what I'm talking about?
I have the latest reissue that came out. It got reissued, and I think it was on white vinyl or something like that.
Yeah, there was a reissue before that, maybe 10 years ago.
That I never saw.
That is a reproduction of the original. Yeah. Not a bootleg; it's an official reissue.
Nice.
Yeah, well, the one I got was an official reissue too, because I.
No, yeah, I know. I remember it came out.
That was just a couple years ago.
Jesse Mallon posted about it, and that's how.
2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. Yeah, but that's a great record that I always chased, but I never had $1,500 I could just drop on it. So.
It's a shame, about Jesse, man. Hope he gets better.
Oh man, I know.
What a great guy.
I actually want to do a benefit show for him.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Is that Jesse Mallon we're talking about?
Yeah.
No.
Cheers to Jesse.
Yeah. What a sweetheart of a human being.
Such a good dude.
I miss Coney Island High. That was a great place.
Yeah.
I ran into him at John's on 12th Street shortly after Todd's memorial. And we chit-chatted for a second. Such a sweet guy.
Yeah, last time I actually talked to him was on the Outlaw Country Cruise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was on the Outlaw Country Cruise, and he was on it. He was, playing some shows. And I ran into him in the fucking cafeteria. And I just talked to him for a bit there. That's actually the last time I talked to him in person.
Wow.
And that was just after COVID, I think.
Oh, wow.
Either just after or just before COVID. I don't know.
Well,
I think just after.
Right on.
Any Sisters of Mercy fans on the panel or watching
Any what?
tonight? Sisters of Mercy.
Not my thing, but I don't hate them.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
I love them.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan.
A lot of my friends are.
Yeah, just classic.
Same.
I mean, I'm saying band. It's like a guy, really. It's Andrew Eldritch, really. But I'm not going to talk about Sisters of Mercy.
that was
tricking us, man.
I want to talk about a band adjacent to and who are contemporaries of Sisters of Mercy who never quite got their due and they broke up way too early. And I love this band as well. Talking about the March Violets.
Oh,
never heard of them.
There you go. Now there's a bit of a story. This is their. Okay, let me kind of set the scene here a little bit. So, March Violets were around at the same time as Sisters of Mercy. Andrew Eldritch, he had a record label called Merciful, and he put out the March Violets, first couple of singles on his label. Real, similar sounding band to Sisters of Mercy. Maybe a little bit more poppy, I want to say. Not quite as dark, but really in the same ballpark. They put out a bunch of singles. They never put out an LP when they were around in the 80s. They broke up. They were dormant for decades. This is their first LP. It just came out this year. It's insane, and it sounds like...
Wait, recorded now?
Yes, it's new. Wow. Here's another thing. They actually recorded it 10 years ago. It took 10 years to come out.
Wow.
But... yeah, I don't know why. What happened? They released it as a just digital thing, and then finally this year it got put out on vinyl. It just sounds like it's from the 80s. It's like that Sisters of Mercy kind of sounding record with a bit more kind of indie pop. They're a bit more up-tempo, upbeat, a bit more happy sounding than the Sisters of Mercy, but definitely in the same ballpark. And they're more like a proper band. I'll show you the gatefold. It's not just Andrew Eldritch and a laptop, it's one, it's a gang, a band, proper band.
Right on.
And they have more female vocals too than Sisters of Mercy. they kind of share those vocal duties. But
that is completely relevant to my interest.
yeah,
That
it's
was
really
awesome.
good. We were talking a bit off camera before, and I was saying about like new records, LPs can sometimes be a little long. They maybe could have cut some fat off this, a little bit,
Okay.
but it's still good though. It's a double LP, so it's kind of long. But, maybe it could have been a single LP, but this is what you get. It's called Made Glorious. It's out on Jungle Records, which is kind of famous label, I guess.
Sounds something very interesting.
So if you like Sisters of Mercy, check out March
love
Violets. Contemporaries. They're even from the same town, I think. Leeds, I think. But crazy. First LP after being around since the 80s.
That's kind of crazy.
Leeds is where Voorhees is from, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. March Violets is from Leeds. And if you
new wave of British hardcore guys.
Yeah, and if you want to delve deeper, actually, that's not the best place to start. They have this is singles collection that just came out, all the early singles, complete singles, 82 to 85.
That looks awesome.
So there's that, and then if you want even more, there's all the BBC radio sessions from back in the 80s too.
Wow, all in.
So I've got three double LPs of the March Violets. Could be overkill, probably is, but if you're a fan, you probably want to pick these up. So.
Guess who's going to deep dive till 2:00 in the
There you go. But Mike, start at the beginning. Start at the beginning. Don't start with the new record.
I will.
Yeah.
That's cool.
In fact, I'm going to give you a tip. The first song you should check out, Religious as Hell, is the first song you should check out. Religious as Hell.
That sounds like Mike.
Right?
Oh, Robert says they were supposed to tour the US, but the visa issues they got cancelled.
Oh wow.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. It's new.
Well, I'm glad I didn't miss them because I didn't know they existed.
There you go.
Yeah, now when they come around, you'll be ready.
Yeah.
I'm more than ready to buy a ticket and probably not show up, which is my MO. Do I really want to go out?
We've all done it.
Nah, never mind.
We have all done it. Anybody want a free ticket? Nobody takes it. Right?
Yeah, and then it's just fucking wasting fucking money.
I was supposed to go and see Foreseen last night. Band from Finland, but all these things came up, and I was got busy, and I was kind of tired and stuff. I just didn't go. And now I woke up this morning feeling really sorry for myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, great guys too.
Yeah,
Sheer played with them in Belgium in 2011. It was us, them, and Bishop's Green, who are one of my favorites.
nice man.
And what a great show! The singer was wearing a carnivore shirt. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Great fucking band.
Yeah, good band, good guys too. I just felt really stupid this morning. It's why didn't you? It's getting old, right?
I do that shit all the time, man.
Yeah. Right. I very rarely do that, but it does happen. It does happen.
I've gone as far to get up to the door of a venue and been I'm not going.
Really?
That's crazy.
I've never done that. I have driven to places and been searching for parking and been on the verge of just going home. But
yeah, the parking.
I would say if I don't find something in the next 2 minutes, I'm leaving. But then I found something. I've yet to actually go to a show and not go.
That's amazing. I'm going to try and do that.
That one I haven't.
Generalized anxiety disorder is a hell of a disease.
Yeah, I you know what? When you said that, I totally related to what you said. Actually.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I have more of the lazy disease.
Right. Imagine having both.
Mine is just too friggin' busy, and then I get tired. I have no energy to do it.
That happens. All right, Mike. What's your next pick?
My next pick. My next pick is the year 2000.
Oh.
On Staten Island, New York.
There we go.
Uh-oh.
Right? This record is, and good shit has come out of Staten Island. So all you fucking naysayers can suck my dick. but this is the best thing.
We're going to play Tompkins Square.
Oh, right.
October 1st.
This is the best thing to ever come off Staten Island. Possibly one of the best things to come out of New York. This is, remember, I'm not going to say because then Andrew will guess. I'm just going to show you. CattlePress, Hordes to Abolish.
There you go.
Okay.
This fucking record is unfucking believable. It's relentless and it's brutal from the very start to the very end. It's
Yeah, you know what? I don't own that. I have to get a copy of that.
This is guys from, Eviscerate, that became I Abhor Her, that became CattlePress, Wu-Tang. That's like at least 10th on the list.
Donato was drumming in that, right?
Yeah, Donato played on this record. Donato from Fallacy
Yeah.
played on this. Joey and Eddie from I Abhor Her, who I was lucky enough to play with for a little while.
Yeah, I fucking don't have that record. I have to get that record.
There's actually, yes, exactly, Frank. That's the first vocal you hear on the record. This guy, Matt, or whatever his name is, that sang a lot on this record, was totally fucking nuts. And there's also a couple of I Abhor Her songs on this. I Abhor Her broke up way too soon, and they did a 2-song single on Slap-A-Ham and some songs on Comps, and they wound up repurposing them on a couple of CattlePress records. There's this, and then before this, there was a split with Agoraphobic Nosebleed.
Right.
That's a great split.
But this record is just complete brutality. A lot of people kind of call it, doom, or kind of call it metal, but they define themselves as New York's hardcore. And it is, because it's scummy and gross and brutal and real. And this shit is just, this came out on Hydra Head in 2000. I didn't really fuck with a lot of the Hydra Head stuff. I didn't like a lot of it. But, I'm a bit biased, of course. Oh, yeah, the split with Agoraphobic Nosebleed. That song, Hate Fuck, is just, I think Lino is on the Agoraphobic split, if I'm not mistaken. He's definitely on the 7-inch. But
and Agoraphobic does a Voivod cover on that.
Yes, you're right.
Forgotten in Space.
Forgotten in Space. But this record, this is another one of my all-time favorites. I was happy to see their reunion quite a few years back, and I was lucky to have crafted some of these songs with these guys. The booklet is as cool as fucking shit. It's like an oversized CD booklet, right? Nice. And it's got, I think Eddie did all the graphics inside of it. There's all the lyrics and the Komisikama in here, and the hoof and the paw. And it's just fucking one of my favorite song titles of all time on this record. It's called "And the Sea Gave Us Its Dead." I don't know why I love that so much, but I do. And then this came out on a couple of different colors. This is a beaut. So it came out on like a clear red with orange yellow mix, and it also came out on an opaque red.
I have red
yellow mix. I have both of those. I have a black one. I have a test press that my hetero life mate Mike Casey, his son, gave to me as a gift. His son Alex, who's the king of Hudson Valley hardcore. But yeah, I think Frank just wrote it's a perfect record. It is. Donato, when it comes
he's
down,
such a savage fucking drummer.
Yeah, and he's like a jazz drummer.
I know.
So he's brutal. He hits like a fucking rhinoceros, but he like puts this like jazzy shit in there. And it's just, there's shit on this record. All the guitar work, the bass stuff, the vocals just blows you away. And these guys were fucking tough as fuck. Tough as fuck, these guys. I remember when they first started, Joey had like this real long fucking cousin it hair. And I didn't touch it with my
finger. Didn't touch it, yeah. I was going to say.
Mama Luke. I had my hands on the fucking label and the Kumas.
You're getting fucking reprimanded.
What the fuck? Well, I yelled at Maddie last time because he was like finger banging his records with his fucking olive oil voice and his guinea charm. And so Joey had this long hair, and Eddie used to have these dreads. He used to call himself Jafakin. And right. And one day they played Loud as Fuck. Remember Loud as Fuck Fest, Andrew? And they played and they came and they had like shaved heads and stuff. And I was like, yo, you cut all your hair? He was like, it's a new war we're fighting, brother. I was like, fuck yeah. And they lived it. They lived that shit, man. And I've heard some real fucking wild tour stories about these motherfuckers that maybe we'll talk about after.
After the show.
CR played a basement show with them at Chipote's house once. And it was just like, it was unfucking believable to see, even as they did as a 3-piece, and they just shook that house to its fucking core. And it was great stuff in there. Amazing musicians, great friends. Like Frank said, it's a perfect fucking record. So I
need to get that.
Records. If you haven't heard this, hear it. If you don't want to hear it, hear it. Hear this record.
If you don't want to hear it twice.
It'll change your fucking life, because this shit, nothing sounds like this. Nothing sounds like this record. But just because of the way that Joey, Eddie, and Donato work together. You know, Joey and Eddie have more similar styles, you know, having come up through metal and death metal and hardcore, but Donato came up as like a straight jazz drummer who got into hardcore and punk by happenstance by joining Fallacy, and these guys made the perfect record, and it's still, I listen to it all the time. So get it, love it, smooch it. And
now Donato grows organic vegetables.
Who knew? Donato's parents are like off the boat of towns, and they used to make the feet wine. Yeah.
He's definitely just that one step removed. He's a little Italian man growing the vegetables in his yard.
We used to call him Mumbles. He'd be like, you know. So we used to call him Mumbles. But
I played twice at CB's, both times. One was with Man is the Bastard, and one was with Psy from Japan.
Wow.
And
right.
Both times, CattlePress gave those headliners a run for their money. They were great.
They were unstoppable. There's some videos of them on the YouTubes, like playing in like Texas or something, and just and Sean McCann from Herjaza and Celebrity Murders played drums for them as well. He also, I hear that there's a version of that record floating around that Sean plays drums on. I would love to fucking hear that. So somebody hook that shit up.
Yeah, he's another one, man. He's another one of those guys. He could touch an instrument and play it. It seems like
he masters.
He plays anything.
Masters it.
Yeah, and a good dude. Love that dude.
We used to call him Thundercleese in the Celebrity Murders days. I have a good story about him that I'll tell off
after the show.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. I've taken up enough of your time.
Yeah, beautiful.
Get it. Love it.
CattlePress.
So we're going to go to Long Island. And Mike, this is related to you because a couple of weeks ago you mentioned red hair.
I did, yeah. Everyone was like, oh, what's he doing? He's getting into this weird, like, 90s Discord stuff.
It made me bust out my red hair records.
There you go. They're good, right? They're really good.
Very good.
Yeah.
And Blue Tip before them are
Blue Tip.
very good.
Kingston, is that his name?
But the drummer of Red Hair, I don't know if you knew, he was in this band called Garden Variety.
I had read that somewhere,
and
but like
this is a classic.
I know that name, but I don't know them.
Yeah. They're a classic band from Long Island. They were on Headhunter Cargo Records back then, kind of like the whole Drive Like Jehu scene.
All right.
These guys are like just as good as musicians as those guys. Like they just never got the due they should have, but they kind of got lumped into the Jawbreaker, Sam I Am crowd, but they really should have been in more of the Drive Like Jehu scene, I think. But in indie punk, indie punk type sound. But when I started listening to it, right, because you prompted this, I just kept listening to it. So I've listened to this like 4 times since then, and one of them being today. And I could never get enough of this band. I actually put out a split 7-inch with them, my old label, with Hell No.
No.
And one of the songs is on here, and I just love this album. They have an album before this that Charles from Gurn Blanston put out. He was on the show a couple times.
Yes, yeah, okay.
Charles put out their first album.
All right.
So they were kind of a local band, Long Island, New York City, playing a lot. And after their van died on tour, I used to drive them around in my van, shows and stuff, and became great friends with them. And musicianship wise, though, these guys are just another level. The drummer Joe, as you heard on Red Hair, his drumming on this album is just top notch, stellar. You got to hear it.
I want to.
It's called Knocking the Skill Level, by the way. Garden Variety, Knocking the Skill Level, and
that's their second
on
LP.
Headhunter Cargo. And It's they haven't repressed this record in just a standalone. They did a box set a couple of years ago that this record is in.
All right.
But it goes for like $75, $80 on Discogs. But the thing about the box set, though, is you get all their records, the 2 LPs and a singles compilation.
Okay.
So you can get their whole discography for about $80.
Okay.
Wow.
That's not bad.
In the box. No, it's not bad at all. And when you hear it, you'll be like, holy shit, this is like one of the best bands nobody knows about. You know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, in the underground, like emo, I guess emo scene, people know about them very much. But, you know, like Jimmy Eat World, we're fans of them and stuff like that. So, you know, it's kind of like one of those bands, unsung heroes kind of.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
People from Long Island, New York have a deep affinity for them because they always played like with hardcore bands. They weren't afraid to do that, even though they weren't really hardcore or punk. You know what I mean? But they had that sensibility. It's like they loved Husker Du. They loved, you know, Drive Like Jehu. They loved all the bands we loved. And, you know,
I saw them play with Drop Dead.
They were embraced. What'd you say, Mike?
I saw them play in Jersey with Drop Dead and Four Walls Falling.
Yeah, there you go. And Maddie said the drummer Joe was in 52X also, which he was. So
I was in Dynasty with him, which was
I forgot about that.
I got some funny stories off camera about that guy.
Yeah, but he's one of my Joe Gorelick is one of my favorite drummers of all time.
Wow. He was wild to play with. Yeah,
he's amazing, and he's a great person. Great people in the band too. They're great guys.
Ramone.
Still keep in touch with some of them. So.
That's about like
you got to check them out.
Sure. Yeah, man, that red hair, just those red hair records shocked me from the.
Yeah, that prompted me, man. Seeing you mention red hair, I was psyched. I was like, oh, Joe, and you know, I didn't know if you knew the connection. And then I went in this rabbit hole listening to all of Joe's bands and stuff. Right. So, and then the Garden Variety one. When I start listening to this record, I don't stop. It's like one of those records I can't stop listening to. That's how good it is to me. But
great band.
There you go. It's not for everybody, I guess, but you know, it's not punk as they say, but it's.
No.
Thank you.
You know, I used to fuck with Blue Tip a lot. I didn't fuck that much.
Yeah, Blue Tip was great. It was great.
Nice. All right, Billy, what's your third pick?
Okay, it's another older record.
All right.
Oh,
he's bringing out all the classics tonight.
Well, I didn't know what I was supposed to do, so I figured it was.
You're right.
No rules
at all.
That's the original version on Bad Trip.
Nice.
Although for some reason I have like a promo photo from the PVC re-release, which I don't know why it's in there, but it is.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
I must have gotten the picture from somebody and just thrown it in the record. I don't know. I drink a lot. I don't remember everything. But yeah, I love that fucking record. Those guys were like ridiculously over the top. I mean, you can't play a lot of that shit around people. The Ballad of Jerry Curlin or Homosexual, it'll make people's heads fucking explode.
Oh shit,
but meanwhile, it's all just like purposefully over the top. Crazy. And they were another band that was a great live band.
John Kalenko sold me that record in like 86 or 87.
Oh yeah?
And when he worked at Our Music.
Such a great record.
I think it's in print too. I think you can still find it, right?
I got a reissue of it very recently.
Yeah.
I think it's been reissued fairly often, which is great, but it seems like a lot of people still don't know who the fuck Angry Samoans are. I did this for a Halloween cover band like 8 years ago, I think it was, and nobody knew what the fuck we were playing. And that was a punk rock crowd.
Right.
Wow.
Ish.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was punk. There's a lot of punk in there, but you know, they're younger, I guess.
Yeah.
Classic. Right. They were kind of. I'm gonna say they were like a little bit influenced by like '60s music a little bit as well.
Oh yeah,
Angry
they
Samoans,
definitely were. I mean, they even did some '60s covers. They on one of their subsequent records they did "Somebody to Love," which is they did a great Actually, Agent Orange did a great version of it. Their version of it wasn't all that great, but they had on some of their other records. They had some stuff that was really more 60s garagey. They have a song called "I'll Drink to This Love Song." I forget what record it's on, but it's a fucking great song. That one.
Is it the third album or the fourth? LSD, not STP.
That's what it's on.
That's way more 60s-ish.
STP, not LSD. Yeah.
That's it. I've got it the way around.
Yeah. That one's really garagey, and that's where "I'll Drink to This Love Song" is on, and that is a great song.
Yeah.
But this one is just like amazing. Gas Chamber. That band that Mike was referencing before, I was in Gut Wrench. We used to cover Gas Chamber live all the time.
Right.
And nobody knew it. People would ask me if it was our song. It's like, no, we didn't write that. We used to cover "Civilization's Dying" too by the Zero Boys. People would ask, "Yeah, did you write that?" No, no. Zero Boys.
That's right.
Yeah, we actually recorded that.
Yes.
That sounds.
Which Kiss song did you do? Did you do "Do You Love Me" or?
We did "Come On and Love Me."
Come On and Love Me, right?
But that never made it to a record. That's just sitting.
Yeah,
out there.
I have that on an old Lewis tape.
Yeah.
I Gut Wrench only have the split with Serpico Sleeper.
Oh, that is 7-inch.
Yeah, we did.
I never had the 7-inch.
New block on the kids.
Yeah, that was on Excursion.
Nice.
Okay.
Me and John Lisa made our own record label to put out the original Gut Wrench.
Tragic Life. Yeah.
And then we did that 4-song called "If It's Too Loud, You're an Asshole." It was us, New Rose, Phil's band, Earth Pig, and the Sanity Assassins. I think it was.
Sanity Assassins. That's a blast from the past. What,
yeah.
Are they German?
No. Here. Maybe there might have been more than one of them.
They put out a record on a German label. I think they put a record on Xmas Records from Germany, I think. Maybe.
The guy from Xmas recently passed away.
Armin, man.
Armin.
He was a great fucking guy.
I did a record with him, split release. Nice guy, man. Every
time we were overseas, we would go to his warehouse and just go nuts, and he would charge us practically nothing for shit. You know, rest in peace.
Rest in peace to Armin. Yeah.
Rest in peace, Armin.
Yeah. Very important to the German
great guy
scene and international
European distribution. Amazing.
Yes. Yeah. How many records do you have that says like distributed by Xmas at the bottom? Like so many, right?
Yeah.
A lot.
And then putting out a record of him was a real pleasure. You know, usually that could be like tough, but it was a pleasure.
All right. Mike, I feel like I would be letting you down if I didn't show some Hobbit rock on the show.
Fuck yeah. Yes. I gotta copyright that shit, man.
Bit of an inside joke, like for anyone's watching.
Which
Mike showed Ashbury record. Ashbury, right? Mike showed when you were on, which I still haven't been able to find. But I will.
Really? I feel like it's every. I
know. You would think so, right? Maybe just not in Japan. I don't know. I'm
going to get you on and send it to you.
It'll happen. It will happen. But I'm not going to talk about Ashbury because I don't have the record. I got something that I want to call like Hobbit rock adjacent. I mean, it might be more like Renaissance Fair Boogie or Wicker Man metal. I don't know. But
Whoa. I have the Wicker Man soundtrack up in the corner over there.
I thought Led Zeppelin was basically Hobbit rock.
I love that fucking band.
Led Zeppelin?
No, fuck Led Zeppelin.
This is their new record, not Led Zeppelin. Wytch Hazel.
Wytch Hazel.
Okay.
Aren't they like Jesus rock?
I was going to come to that. Yeah, they wear white. They talk about the light. This is what was going to
say. Great band, though.
Wasn't Gandalf Jesus? I thought that's what that was.
I don't have that one yet, but that's a great band.
This is the new one. The new album just came out a couple of months ago on Bad Omen Records from England. But Metal Blade are distributing it in the US, so you can get it easily.
Yep.
Like I said, it's just beautiful, like 70s, like hard rock, Wishbone Ash. It's like super like organic sounding, warm sounding. You know, it's like the twin guitar leads, like the autumnal vocals, like it's just beautiful record that is
sweet.
Autumn. This is like autumn music. I want to say.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
What a great fucking band! Holy shit.
Yeah. You know, this is their fourth LP.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they are into the light, the angel of light. You know, they sing it. but they're kind of like, they don't really, the lyrics, if you didn't know, you probably wouldn't figure it out. They don't really reference the Lord, but they just talk about, like, positive, like positive things, and
They dress like Knights Templars too.
Oh, they do. Do I have a picture?
Oh, good gravy.
No, not really. This is not the best.
They're like young dudes too.
They're young. Yeah.
Do they actually dress like Knights Templar?
Yes, they wear like white tunics and big boots.
Well, yeah, not like
not
merely a flesh wound, not like that. But
it's still fucking amazing.
Great bit. They have an Instagram page, and the guitar player is always like, "Watch me play beautiful guitar solos." So good.
He does like solo stuff too, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Wytch Hazel with a Y. Volume 4, Sacrament is the name of this record.
Great fucking band.
Yeah. If you like Wishbone Ash, 70s rock, it's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Cool.
Great band.
Oh, so psyched that you brought that on.
Yeah, I it's like the new record.
I almost brought the second record on, but
the second Ashbury album.
Yeah. Well, no, the second.
The second Wytch Hazel record.
Yeah,
that's great, man. That's a great record. Yeah.
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 I'm gonna have to be looking at your notes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna remember.
This shit is just so good.
It's like
it doesn't sound. It sounds like it's from the past.
Yeah, it does.
You know
it does.
I mean?
Yeah,
But,
listen, I like a lot of that old rock and roll shit, man.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good. Like when I first got into them, I didn't realize how Jesus-y they were.
Me neither.
But, I kind of lumped them into the Hobbit
I can
rock.
overlook that. My parents are very Jesus-y, and I love them. So
Right. I lumped them into my Hobbit rock genre, and then I was like, then I started paying attention to the lyrics, and I was like,
right.
I was like, you know what?
Pastoral, autumnal, like just beautiful.
It's that's a perfect word.
A lot of songs about Mordor.
No, the Lord.
No, it's all
Look to the light. And
I'm just meaning it.
All that kind of stuff. But like Trouble, Trouble, they were a kind of Christian band too, right? It's kind of like that. It's a similar kind of like way of they approach things, right? It's,
not as doomy, but still like, sounds older than what it is.
And just like lyrically, they're not pushing the Christian thing. It's just there,
It's definitely in the background.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Wytch Hazel for Sacrament.
All right, starting to feel this whiskey.
That's cool, man.
So good.
All right.
Yeah,
Mike?
I just had 3 full cups of lady drinks, so I'm not quite on Jupiter, but I might be on Uranus. All right, so as
I'm
not
kind of
to
glad
let
there's
down,
miles between us.
as so not to let people down. I don't know if Scott Collins is watching, especially, but I love the Hobbit rock. It's funny that
who doesn't?
So I'm just gonna from 2018, Ashbury.
Oh, there it is.
You got me into that, man.
in Witches.
Nice.
This record is fucking amazing. Look, the first record is always going to be my favorite.
Right.
I heard it once a long time ago, and when I saw High Roller reissue it, I grabbed it right away. This one is also on High Roller, but it came out in 2018. The two brothers, whatever the fuck their names are, Randy and Rob, they're the guitar players and vocalists and stuff. They're still in the band. It's a mostly different lineup, but I love this fucking record so much. The title track, "Eye of the Stygian Witches," great stuff. There's a song. Yeah, there he is, Scott Collins. Fucking, they have a song called "Good Guitar."
What?
What's it called?
What's it called?
Good Guitar.
Good Guitar.
Good guitar.
It sounds like it should be on a non-English speaking record.
Right.
And it's humble. He could have said great guitar.
This is true because they are great.
Yeah.
And I recently went down a fucking deep dive on watching like recent live videos of these guys, and they're fucking great. And it's also comical because they're all like wearing Ashbury t-shirts and shit.
Nice.
But still, this is legit fucking Hobbit rock.
Not tunics though.
Legit. Fucking this whole record from beginning to end is great. I like the other records a lot too, the ones that come in between, but the first record and this record are my two favorites.
Right.
And we recently got this on vinyl because you couldn't find it in the States. Okay. I got one off of eBay and they were like, they canceled the order because they didn't actually have it, but It's on a nice, splishy splatter kind of vinyl.
Ooh.
The insert is color. I look at the brothers; they're kind of hanging out in the fucking
perfection.
poppy field or whatever the fuck that is. Probably stoned out on fucking mushrooms.
Rob and Randy.
And then like, there's like 205 guys in the band. So it's really beautiful. Let's see. Good guitar. Born in the city, life was never pretty. 17, got a used guitar, nobody's fool. Dropped right out of school, started playing at the local bar. Please.
I have to ask, what constitutes Hobbit rock for you?
I mean, what doesn't constitute Hobbit rock?
If you could answer that question,
well, I'll show you the first Ashbury record when we get off into the private chat.
It's just you can figure it's like, autumnal, woodsy, like
and Hobbity, they sing about fucking wizards and fucking bullshit. It's fucking great.
That's what I would think.
They're like, we're going to Sarathungal and we're going to suck your ass. Like, it's fucking great. Wow. They don't say that at all. You get the meaning, right? It's like, the wizard rides up on his horse and he
yes.
Like, it's so good. It's so good, and I became enamored. And I came on the show. I started calling it Hobbit Rock beforehand, but the first time I came on the show, I brought on the first Ashbury record. I've been listening to that record for decades. And I said Hobbit Rock, and from then on, like, every time I'm on, people like inundate me with Hobbit Rock shit. And my buddy Scott, who I used to work with, he was like, yo, what the fuck is Hobbit Rock? I got to get that record. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. And he's on here tonight.
You got two of the best, Ashbury and Wytch, Hazel, man. Two of the best in the game.
And like, I got Wytch Hazel through Ashbury. Right? And it's a beautiful genre of, and it's heartfelt, beautiful.
It is.
Hobbit Rock.
It is.
What else can you say? There's like,
I'm at a loss.
There's like power violence, hardcore, black metal, and Hobbit Rock. What else do you need in your life?
There you go.
Besides anything that John Reese makes. But fucking Ashbury, Eye of the Stygian Witches. Fuck with this hard because
High Roller Records. High Roller
Records. It came out in 2018, and it sounds like what they.
Looks like I'm going to be ordering a lot of records tomorrow.
That's the point of the show,
right? Fucking
costing me money, Mike.
It's fucking beautiful, Story of my life. That's what
Ashbury. All right, Andrew.
Yeah, we have a similar illness, Mike.
Tell me about it. But
I felt like all these thousands of records. I'm 61 years old. I'm like, what am I going to do with these records in 15 years? I'm going to be 76 years old. Am I going to fucking lug all these records
Keep
around?
listening to them.
Keep listening to them.
But
I told my sisters fucking melt those shits and dump me in when I fucking croak.
Wow.
No one gets them.
No
one gets them. Melt them and fucking throw me in. Then fucking take whatever fucking statuette of me gets made out of this fucking vinyl, throw it in the ocean. Pollute that shit.
This got fucking dark quick.
With Hobbit Rock.
It got a bit dark, didn't it?
Hobbit Rock to this.
Let's move on.
I mean,
well, the Hobbit's got to take the road to fucking Mordor,
Right.
Jesus, you went full on Sauron. Full blown Sauron.
It's the White Claws talking.
All right, Andrew, follow that.
Mike, you just mentioned power violence, right?
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, Mike did. Okay.
Mike did. So we're going to talk about pre-power violence a little bit.
Ooh.
With this.
Oh.
I just got this.
Nice.
I'm not a test pressing guy myself, but this is a test pressing of the upcoming Pissed Happy Children discography. It's coming out on Black Claw Records.
Wow.
It's Piss Playground LP plus the Vigilante 7-inch comp track and a live at Gilman set, double LP. Sounds incredible.
That's pretty cool.
Mastered really well. This is just the test. There's not, listen, it's test pressing. But the cool thing about Black Claw Records is they make their test pressings like releases.
Yeah.
So you pay for them, but it's like you're not feeling like, oh, I just got a record in the sleeve. You know what I mean? Like with blank labels, it's got substance to it. Like he'll send you stickers. He's got a sheet here that has a whole history of PHC.
Yep.
Pissed Happy Children. And track listing, of course, for 4 sides. And an art print autographed by the original artist who did the back cover.
Nice.
And numbered. Really nice. But yeah, Black Claw is the shit, Frank. That's true. Yeah. But Sean is the best. I mean, best fucking guy. I mean, best people that do that label. And PHC is considered the precursor to Infest and PHC are the 2 bands that really like kind of launched that genre, in my opinion.
Hell yeah, Eric fucking
Wood. When I saw the ad at MRR for the PHC Infest Flexi, I ordered it immediately, and it changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got the Infest 7-inch, I got the PHC LP. It was like, holy shit, this is like music. And another example of what I was talking about before, living in New York and worshiping bands from California who had this mystique about them because they didn't come here, Infest didn't come here till much, much later, right? So there's a huge mystique about those bands for me.
Right.
I couldn't see them. Could only listen to their music.
Fuck yeah, Eric Wood forever.
Eric Wood is the shit. And Eric Wood plays on the PHC album. Actually, the 3 musicians playing on PHC are Eric Wood on bass and vocals, Sean Connell, who does Black Claw, on guitar and vocals, and his brother, Joel, on drums. They're all 3 of them were in Charred Remains. They were in Pillsbury Hardcore before.
Yes. Yeah.
Then PHC, then Charred Remains, and went on to be Men as a Bat. I mean, come on. These guys are just legends, right?
Yeah.
For that kind of music, right? Their influence cannot be denied. And they're a huge influence on me. I love PHC. They're my favorite out of all those bands. I love Man as the Bastard. I love Pillsbury Hardcore. But the PHC was like kind of my wheelhouse for that.
Same.
And they really. I used to have a PHC, the happy faces on my guitar, the sticker. I had a sticker. I cut out the happy faces and put on my guitar. So I was early adopter of them, and that Flexi blew me away. Even though I don't even like live records, but that live Flexi, live records, I make some exceptions, but that's one of them. And that was Slappingham #1.
That 8-inch Flexi format was a nod to like Japanese hardcore because that 8-inch Flexi format was like the big thing in Japan in those days because they were cheap to make, and that was kind of a nod to Japanese hardcore.
That's right. I think he did an Evertone or something like that here that did Flexis back then. But I ordered that Flexi right away when I saw the ad for it in MRR, and I was like, holy shit, this is like it was like something else. Mm-hmm. It was like, this is like the next level. It was kind of like when you first heard Napalm Death, right?
Right. Yes.
Like one of those things where like, whoa, this is not like Sick of It All. This is not like,
no, it was not
regular hardcore.
Right.
This is something else, This is like,
funny thing about that record is it opens up with the Negative Approach cover.
Yes. And they do it amazing.
Such a great version of that fucking
song. Version. Eric Wood playing bass on his bass playing on this record is probably some of his best performances.
Huge influence on me.
And everything he plays is so tasteful. Kind of like one of those like prog bass players, right? That just has the right note for the right time at the right part. Just always nailing it, right? And when they went to 2 bass players in Man as the Bastard, that was just like a mind fuck for all of us.
Show me a harder fucking breakdown than Mr. Magoo's Revenge. Hardest breakdown. I'm not even joking. Hardest breakdown of all time. Fuck all the New York hardcore shit. That is the hardest shit.
Dude, when I hear Vigilante,
and that name's fantastic.
That record, when that 7-inch came out, I was like,
fucking great.
This is like
Vigilante.
Next level shit.
With the
next level
on the cover.
And next level truck. Heavy. And it was a trio.
Yep.
Right?
Fuck yeah. Huge.
Check it out. So out now. It's already out, Andrew.
It's not out yet.
Not out. Okay.
And I'm not trying to flex showing a test pressing. I'm just
No.
I've been listening to it like crazy. It's
this is what are you listening to, and that's what
I've been listening to it like crazy.
There you go.
I got it last week on the 31st, August 31st, and I listened to it like 5 times already. I'm like, I got to talk about this record because even though it's not even out yet, it's got to be. You have to order it when it comes out.
Check it out.
And he puts like all sorts of surprises in the record. So what's in the test pressing won't be in the record. It'll be like even better probably. Like
right.
Like if you pay the $30 or whatever he's going to charge for it, you're going to be like, this guy's crazy. Like why did he do this?
Yeah,
is it up for
It's so cool, you know? It's just it makes you happy. It makes record nerds like us fucking happy that
Andrew,
somebody cares that much. You know what I mean? I love it.
No, not yet, Billy. It'll be soon.
Yet? Okay.
What Black Claw does, which is fucking brilliant, and it's great that he makes, like Andrew said, the test presses like the release. A lot of time, if you find a test press out in the wild or another label sells you a test press, it's in a plain white sleeve with a plain.
Oh,
white
I know. Yeah.
All these shits are stamped. All the covers are numbered. And he adds like all the shit Andrew showed you. Like he makes it a legit release, and
that's fucking fun.
Yeah, those test presses, even though they're a little more expensive, it makes sense because it helps him keep his records when the release comes out. It helps him keep them under $20.
Yeah.
So he'll charge like $17-$18 for an LP, which in 2023 is fucking decent as hell.
Yeah.
And
the CR record,
the
CR record we did was $19, $19.90 if you order it, plus shipping.
Mm-hmm.
It's nowhere. You're not going to find that anywhere. It's keeping it real for the kids.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed I didn't get a hell version of that record.
Oh, really?
But it's the color I got was still cool. It's like
the hell is kind of a joke, to be honest with you. Is hell really a version? But
I listed that shit on Discord.
I know you did.
It was that red. It looked really cool. The one that Mike posted up, the red and black one, it looked really cool.
Yeah, it was. What do they call them? Like when they change out when they're at like the bottom.
Transition colors.
Yeah, transition colors.
Transition. That's it. Yeah.
Like that's another great thing about Sean. He'll go through every fucking record in the pressing to see which ones look fucking gnarly. It's cool.
We love you, Sean.
Cheers, Sean. He'll probably be watching tomorrow. Or
he's been on. Yep.
Yeah. Well, when that goes up for pre-sale, I will order.
Great dude, old school fucking guy, knows his shit, and he loves this shit. He's a sincere guy. Great shit.
That shit comes through. That comes through. If you love the stuff that you're putting out, that comes through.
Yeah.
And the fact that he embraced CR to me means of the world.
It means the
CR
world
is very important to us.
Thank you.
CR is not some joke shit to me,
no.
Mike, and you, and everybody else. It's
very much appreciated that people gave so much of a fuck. We broke up in '98. That people still were super excited. The cassette version of the record is coming out this week too, by the way.
Check it out. What version? On Matt's label, right? Matt's label.
Yeah. My label and Matt's label are doing a split. Sunken Temple and Hicksville Devil.
There you go. Check it out. I talked about it last week, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for sending it.
The pleasure's all mine.
Great stuff. All right, Billy, what you got?
All right. This one's not as old.
What's that?
See what it is. It's a Riverboat Gambler.
The Riverboat Gambler.
Oh, fuck yeah!
This just got reissued. This is the old one. I think it's on gold. Yeah, it's on gold. And it's just an incredible punk rock and roll record. I don't know what else to say about it. Every song on it just fucking kicks ass. This is the reissue. And I think that's white, right? Yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
But these guys are just fucking insane. I don't know if you've ever seen them live.
I have. I saw them when
I
lived in St.
Mike
Louis.
is just fucking all over the place. He's all over the place. and the energy on that record is like a live show, in my opinion. There are other records I think they're good. The single they put out after this with "Keep Me From Drinking" on it is a fucking fantastic single. And then it seemed to me like they got a little bit more produced than I like, but the songs are still great, and they're just fucking great live. They're just a fucking great live band. But this record, this was like from, I think, 2003 or 2000, 2003, because the 20th anniversary was why they reissued it. And it's fucking amazing. What's What is on there, Ice Water, just fucking great songs. Just great songs.
I know about that record because I think, I could be mistaken, like Jack Control redid the mastering on the reissue and he posted about it, and it's not usually something that he would do. I thought it was quite interesting that he would do like more of a punk rock and roll kind of a record. So yeah, he just posted about it quite recently. So yeah,
I wasn't sure who remastered it, but that sounds right, because it basically just came out like 2 weeks ago. The
right. Yeah.
Oh shit!
It's a fucking great record. I suggest everybody picks it up, but let's see. That's the only Riverboat Gamblers record to listen to. Honestly,
it's the best one.
I don't want to, because I love the band live. I don't want to like piss on any of their other releases, but that's the one to get. By far the best one.
Noted.
To listen to on record.
All right.
It's just a fantastic record.
Riverboat Gamblers.
Honestly, it's a huge influence on what I do, as far as like the band I'm in now, Goddamn Rex. It's just, that's the kind of sound I go for. It's just like this raw punk rock and roll thing. Just no holds barred, whatever. Don't worry about technical. Don't worry about being technically perfect. Just fucking put everything out there. And silence.
No, yeah, I was just looking at this comment.
And scene.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's something I've been meaning to check out. I've never heard them before, and I've been meaning to check them out.
No, I'm not going to piss on anybody's records, because
no, that's not what we do here.
Band.
No, we don't do that. We're positive. We're Wytch Hazel style on this show. Positive.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to convert, but yeah. Okay.
Yo, fuck with Wytch Hazel. You won't regret it.
No, I'll listen to it. They're not going to make me a Jesus guy. But
well, they didn't do that to us either.
If I fuck with Wytch Hazel,
exactly. You're way more of a fucking heretic than me. So.
All right. My last pick.
I just don't care about religion. You actively fucking hate it. So.
We're on number 5, huh?
We're on number 5. Last round. I'm going to show the devil's music for my last pick.
Ooh.
Wow. Back in like 1982, people like burned this record when it came out. In America, they did not like this record when it came out in 82. It's such an obvious record, and people are
they're probably still burning it in Florida.
Probably.
Yeah, really.
Probably when I show it, people are like, "Oh,
and
why?"
Possibly Texas.
Mate, yeah.
Or Florida.
Yeah, definitely Florida.
Can you guess? Oh, can you guess what record it is? Though?
No.
Is it Wasp?
Oh, close-ish. 1982.
Born Again.
UK, England. Big band. And that's like, it's such a common record. And when I show it, people are like,
Raven?
Why is he showing that? And I'll get to why I'm showing it in a second. But yeah, it's like the most recent reissue of Number of the Beast.
Bravo.
Oh.
I already have like a Japanese copy. I have probably a UK copy. I have like a couple of CDs of it.
One of the best records ever.
Yep. Why is Underdog Attack showing Number of the Beast on this show? What's the point?
He should.
Well, it's a great record, but I didn't buy it for Number of the Beast.
Uh-oh.
I bought it for this. The Beast over Hammersmith double live LP. With never been released on vinyl ever before.
So it's a 3 LP?
It's a triple LP, yeah.
Wow.
And you can find it pretty cheap if you look around. It was pretty cheap. So this is the American pressing on BGM. It's a beautiful packaging. It's like a trifold, and it's got like liner notes from Steve Harris.
When did they come out?
Last year.
Really?
I'm pissed. My local record store never had that.
Really?
Something else I missed out on.
Yeah. I mean, I had to get it because this is like, for me, like this is a better show than like Live After Death. It was at the it's at the Hammersmith Odeon, legendary venue in front of a home crowd. Number of the Beast hadn't come out yet, so all of the right.
Wow.
You know what? These days, people when Iron Maiden go on tour these days, people say, "Oh God, they're playing all the new stuff," but they did it back then too. People only knew like "Run to the Hills," that was a single, right? They didn't know any of the other. Well, of course, they played the Paul Di'Anno songs, but they had like all these other songs that we'd never heard before, right? So
you play Running Free, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's basically the first album, the second album, the third album, almost track list, And Bruce
Dickinson singing.
With Bruce Dickinson singing, yeah.
Very cool.
And, they kind of recorded this show for a live video, but Steve Harris is like super and he didn't let them release it because it was a little bit dark. You've probably seen footage; it's on YouTube. It's like really dark footage. But the audio is from like that recording, and they just shelved it, and they just didn't do anything with it at all until now.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. I saw them like around this time, so it really brings back like memories of seeing them and not like hearing like Number of the Beast yet. So all these songs were new, like I said. So it's a real like trip down memory lane for me. So
sounds like a must buy.
I mean, if you're an Iron Maiden fan, I would say
I am.
I'm not even a huge Iron Maiden guy, but I'm definitely getting that.
Yeah, I mean, it's heavy duty. Sounds great. Perfect set list. Beautiful. Yeah, I thought people might be, why is he showing Number of the Beast? It's like, what's the point? But
because it's a good record.
Well, but I bought, but it's true. But I got it for this, which is like.
All right, let's deep dive a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Team Bruce or Team Paul?
Oh, Paul, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Team Bruce.
Or Team
that's what I heard first.
About Blaze. Any Blaze fans?
But what about Team Nico or Team Clive?
Clive. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
with Bruce and Paul, it's like separated by a hair for me because I love the Bruce stuff. The Di'Anno stuff is the stuff I heard first, but I hate when Bruce sings the Paul stuff. Right.
Actually, you know what? I do too, but back in these days, it was still fine. But later on, I just don't want to hear it. Right. Yeah.
But I'm Team Paul and Team.
Peace of Mind was my first Maiden record, so I love that the best.
Before.
Killers was mine.
Yeah, me too.
Killers was mine.
I love Paul Di'Anno records though.
Me too, man. I love Bruce in general. I don't piss on his shit, but
he's a pretty amazing dude.
Yeah,
I like him on this record because he's still young.
The energy on his to this day live is unbelievable.
Yeah, for a guy his age, right?
I saw them at Hammerstein once. That was fucking wild.
Yeah, I was at that show too.
It was the Ed Hunter. Remember that they had
the game,
that interactive video game.
Nobody could do. It was so difficult.
Yeah. They like crashed every computer it was put into, but it was great. But I also hate that third guitar player.
Oh yeah, he doesn't need to be there. Yeah.
What's his name? Yanni.
Yanni Gers. Yeah, he doesn't need to be there.
Fuck that guitar spinning motherfucker.
But Clive Burman, nice mention because he's just another level.
Classy fucking drummer.
Oh, there's one thing I want to mention about Number of the Beast part of this record because it's kind of interesting. Like when it came out, they put Gangland on it, right? When it came out, and they kind of regretted it. They didn't like that song, and so they've amended that on this reissue, and then they have like Total Eclipse is on here instead of Gangland.
Interesting.
Which is kind of weird, but if you're really used to the original, you don't get Gangland now. You get Total
Eclipse. That's annoying. But
Gangland.
Just keep your original and listen to this too. So
if you buy a Japanese pressing of the original vinyl, it has both songs on it.
Win-win.
Which I have. But it's weird.
Well, if you see one, grab one, and I'll pay you and send me one.
Right? Yeah, really. Make it two.
All right, that's my last pick. Iron Maiden.
Great fucking pick.
Beast over Hammersmith. Classic.
Not expected. Really cool.
Cheers.
And Mike, by the way, I got to say, your deep dive Iron Maiden videos with Chris Gory.
Thanks for doing that. I was going to mention it, but I was like, I wasn't going to. But yeah, thanks for
top notch.
Check it out. Our Iron Maiden series. We did a deep dive on every single studio album with Chris Corey. Like an hour long, hour and a half episode on each.
Yep.
Each album. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was a wild time. Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's my
Are we
last
ready
pick.
for number 5?
Yeah, number 5. Let's bring it on. Lawn Guy Land.
2007.
I can't even fucking read that.
Lawn
I think
Guy
I know what
Land.
it is.
Oh, is that
Well, it's not your fault. I'm on this fucking iPad.
Long Island.
I think I know what it is.
You definitely know what it is. This, all right. My favorite Revelation record is Side by Side, hands down.
Okay.
It's one of the few that stood the test of time for me from back then. So many of them did not. This record came out on Revelation Records in 2007 and means the world to me. I have lyrics from this record, from this band, tattooed on my fucking body.
I knew it.
Wow. Capital.
Homefront.
Homefront.
Oh,
Capital is the name of the band, right?
Capital is a band. The record is called Homefront. This is their
Gotcha.
second record.
Gotcha.
I don't even know that.
Me neither.
What a fucking record.
I don't know it.
Tommy Corrigan from Silent Majority. This was his band after Blood Red. Their first record, Signal Corps, is fucking amazing, but this record speaks to my fucking heart. The lyrics.
Oh man, I'm ordering a lot of records tomorrow.
The lyrics on this fucking record just like hit me deep, man. They like, you know, I told him once, like, you know, this is why Tommy Corrigan is the GOAT to me. The lyrics on this record and the heart that this band had, you know, rest in peace, Rob. You know, the guitar player passed quite a few years ago. He was also an Iron Sheik who we spoke about. This fucking record is just from the opening. It starts with, you know, some feedback and some drums, some tom work, and to the very end of this record, it just takes you on a fucking emotional fucking roller coaster. And Tommy Corrigan's lyrics and his delivery, some of the best ever. You know, overlooked by most of the world, beloved on Long Island, of course, but the rest of the world needs to hear this fucking record. I don't think it's still in print. I don't know how easily it. Yeah, Frank, I'm with you. This fucking record in particular.
It's not hard to find on Discogs. It's
obviously cheap. Silent Majority means the world to me. You know, last time I was on, I did a big thing for Richie who passed away.
Yep.
Silent Majority just announced a show coming up in December. That's going to be a fucking wild show. Stay tuned for next Wednesday for the announcement of the rest of the bands on that. But this record, Homefront, fuck, dude, this record moves me. There's a song on here called Procrastination, and I have some of the lyrics tattooed on me: live, fight, die. I don't know what else to say about it, really. You know, it's on one of my least favorite colors of vinyl. Yeah. It is what it is, right? I have
your second least favorite after black.
Yeah, exactly. That and right. Mike Casey knows we always shit on that color and like clear green. Except for Murphy's Law record. Except for the Murphy's Law record. But this record means the fucking world to me. I remember when this came out, even John Lisa was just like, you know, some of these lyrics can bring a grown man to fucking tears because they're so relatable.
Let's not inflate John Lisa's ego any more than it is.
Come on. I mean, I wrote a 25 song record that's named after him, for Christ's sake. He's definitely like, Billy, I don't like your attitude.
Yeah. Right now he'd be Billy, shut the fuck up.
I don't know what else to say about this record. This record takes me on an emotional roller coaster. Tommy is a fucking storyteller to beat all storytellers with his lyrics. You can understand every word he's saying. You can feel every word that he sings. This record in particular, the first record was amazing. This record is just top notch. You know, they put out a record after this that's really good, but it's like, why you can't even pay attention to that record. Sorry, guys, because this record is one of my favorites of the era. I remember I got a tape of it before it came out, and I would email. I worked at Korg at the time, and he worked at Merch Direct, and I would email him every lyric. Like, what does this mean? What does this mean? Are you referring to this person? This is great. This is fuck. So it was released on Revelation and Underground Communique. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
You know what I think of French.
Don't say that again.
The wine and the cheese is good.
It's a perfect fucking record. The photography is perfect. The lyric sheet is cool as fuck. Tommy did a really nice job graphically on this. Every single song has, a nice little graphic to go along with it. Years before the fucking MAGA crowd started hooting and hollering about, immigrants taking their fucking jobs. Tommy wrote a song about that on here. Not like they are, against.
Yeah.
No, fair enough.
Just want to clear that up.
Just in case someone misunderstands.
Argue immigrants. He was like, let the immigrants have their fucking job. But I can't say enough good things about Tommy and the other guys in this band. Joey, who played guitar in this band, has taken Rich's place in Silent Majority, and they're all great guys. It's a great band. It's another perfect record. I highly recommend you all fucking check this shit out and fall in love with it, because again, constant rotation. Like this record pierces my fucking soul. Really. Not enough good things to say about it. Check it out. And the song Procrastination. I heard that record when I heard that song when I was in my late 30s, early 40s, and if that doesn't speak to you, then you lived your life wrong.
Well,
Really.
I do procrastinate like a motherfucker.
Yeah, same. So
Right.
it's just a beautiful piece of Long Island hardcore history, and it's one of my all-time favorite Rev records, to be honest.
All right.
Check it out.
Beautiful.
I will be checking it
Make
out.
sweet love to this record.
Actually, I'll be ordering it before I check it out, and then I'll check it out when I get it.
I'm telling you, you gotta fuck with that shit hard. I got lyrics tattooed.
I'm taking your word on it.
All right.
Thank you. Good night.
Andrew has to go. So.
All right, Andrew. What's your last pick of the day? What you got?
So we lost a great one last year, Jeff Beck.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice one.
This is the Live at Ronnie Scott's record. I don't know if you've ever seen the performance that he did at Ronnie Scott's in 2007. This is the new repress of it. I've always wanted it on vinyl. It's one of the best live performances. I'm not a live record guy, but for this kind of music, it really works.
Right.
He plays every note perfect, sublime, beautiful. His use of the whammy bar and volume control and thumb is just genius. I put him up there with like Jimmy and Eddie Van Halen as like top 3 best guitarists of all time. My opinion, for rock and jazz, whatever you want to call it. But it's not only his playing on this, the lineup on this record for this live tour he did was Vinny Colaiuta on drums. The guy that he was in like Flat Zappa and like he even played on a Megadeth record. He played on like look him up. He played on a million different records.
Wow.
Tal Wilkenfield on bass. She was incredible. And who's on keyboard? Jimmy Ribello was on keyboards. So he had like a really tight band for this show. And I don't know if you know Ronnie Scott's, the jazz club in London.
Yeah.
Small club. And he had like Paul McCartney was in the audience, like Eric Clapton. People were like stars showed up to watch this show. And
That's pretty wild.
It's totally wild. And the only unfortunate thing about this, it's a double LP. It was released as a triple LP for all the songs.
Okay.
This recent pressing only has the double LP, but
All right.
I can't complain because I'd never had it before. And
Right.
I've always wanted it. It's always been so expensive. It was only like a Euro only release, and it's not my favorite color vinyl. It's
Look at that.
it's white with like shit stained brown.
Yeah, looks like someone made it there.
Wow.
One of those, like, shitty
That's
colors.
Interesting.
or
That,
whatever.
see, that doesn't suit like Jeff Beck at all.
It does.
like,
we
It
don't
should have
need.
been black.
We don't
But,
need.
you know,
we don't need.
Post
I will
Taco
say
Bell.
I've listened to it. I got it early last week. I listened to it a bunch of times. It sounds awesome.
Nice.
And I've only ever watched it on on TV or like streaming and YouTube. And if you can't get the record, watch it. It's one of the best guitar performances you'll see live. It's you'll see stuff from Jeff Beck in there you probably never saw before. There's a song in here called Nadia. It's a cover of an Indian artist, and Jeff Beck is actually doing the vocal lines on guitar. If you listen to the original, he's all the parts that the female vocalist from India is singing, he's doing on guitar. It's insane, but what a loss, right? What a loss.
Yeah.
I feel like for like people who are into guitar players, he's not overlooked. But like as far as like kind of the mainstream or whatever is concerned, he's definitely like unfairly overshadowed by like Page and like Clapton and other people. I mean,
I
a little bit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like he's kind of.
I was always a big fan of him and Gary Moore a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, and his stuff in the Yardbirds is incredible too. Like,
hell yeah,
incredible stuff. And all of his solo records, his first 4 solo records,
Blow by Blow.
incredible. Incredible.
And that Rod Stewart song, Infatuation.
Yeah, exactly. I really have a huge regret. He played on Long Island a couple of years ago, and I didn't go. He played at the Paramount, a club, not a huge venue, right? Yeah. Maybe like a comparable to Irving Plaza, similar size venue, right? 1,000 people, 750, 1,000 people, whatever. And I didn't go. What an idiot! It's like I feel such regret about that. Like I didn't go see Jeff Beck when I could have. And
you never know.
I know, Billy, you're right. And I have, something with Al Di Meola too. I love his playing.
Right.
I'm a big fan of his. I love all these kind of guitar players, right?
Yeah.
It's my other love besides hardcore punk and metal and stuff. I love this stuff.
Nice. That's a nice thing.
And I saw he's playing in Long Island in October, so I bought tickets right away. I'm like, I'm not gonna let this happen again.
Right.
Yeah, I miss somebody who was like such a talent.
Look at you learning from your mistakes.
Oh yeah. I always do.
You're way ahead of me.
I try to.
I repeat my mistakes.
So I'm gonna drag my wife to that one. I don't know if she'll like it, but we'll see.
Someone please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, and if I dreamt this or anything, but wasn't like the last song that Jeff Beck ever played on stage like a Killing Joke song?
No way.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm pretty sure that is correct. But let me know if I just totally made that up. I'm kind of a bit renowned for like making things up sometimes, but I'm pretty sure that did happen. Like the last time he appeared on stage, he was doing a Killing Joke.
Didn't he play a shitter cover the last time he played?
I know he had like Johnny Depp playing with him, the last tour.
That could have been it.
Which was like
Depp being the bit of a punk rocker that he is, probably asked him, let's do a Killing Joke.
Actually, apparently he's a pretty good guitar player.
Right.
If you could get on stage with Jeff Beck playing guitar, you got to be like halfway decent.
Got to be pretty
right?
good, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
he won't be inviting.
You got to be decent.
Well, he's dead, but he wouldn't be inviting me up anytime soon anyway.
Don't.
If he was alive, he would do that.
Oh, media
is brilliant.
Something really cool in the comments.
Look for Jeff Beck at the Hollywood Military LP.
I'll be buying that.
Okay.
There you go. Nice. Rest in peace.
Thanks for that comment, Frank. Love you, dude.
There you go. All right. Billy, bring it on home. The last pick of the day.
Well, this one is not old. This is actually very new, and probably nobody watching this has heard of her.
Great. Wonderful.
It's Kate Clover. Out of Los Angeles. It's just straight up punk rock.
Oh, shit.
Excellent shit. She writes great songs. The sound is something like a more aggressive undertones.
Cool.
Or if you like the Marked Men.
Yes.
Yeah, the sound is a lot like the Marked Men, but her vocals are great. The songs, it's a fantastic record. I don't even remember how I stumbled across her, but I saw something and heard one of the songs. And I was like, wow, that's really fucking good. So I bought the record, and the whole fucking record is fantastic. She's never come out this way, so I haven't seen her play live. She's starting to get some traction. They're from Los Angeles. She's I think she's opening a bunch of the Hives shows out in on the West Coast.
That's awesome.
And I know she opened a Social Distortion a Social Distortion show in the last couple of months. So she's starting to get like a little bit of traction, but pretty much anybody I ask about Kate Clover, nobody knows who she is, and she's fucking fantastic.
Wow, I'm intrigued. Marked Men comparison has got me intrigued. Let's have a look
And I
at
will
it again.
say it's on black vinyl.
Boo.
Which I prefer to that Jeff Beck vinyl. Not for nothing.
That post.
The white and brown was awful.
Yeah, that was terrible. Terrible. But
Especially
that was a
on
bad
someone
choice. It really looks like somebody
shit stained vinyl.
for
Yeah,
Jeff
it really
Beck.
does.
It's yeah. If I see another copy of black, I'll buy the black.
Tidy Whitey's vinyl.
It's
Hey,
just
Billy,
it's like
Can we have a
That's
look at that record again? Because I want to make sure that people can see it because it looks interesting. Let's have a
this
look.
one?
Yeah.
Wait, let's get it here.
So
Maybe I should have more light on, but
that's fine.
Kate Clover.
Kate Clover, yeah. That's the back.
Cool.
Nice.
Not that it help you much, but seriously, it's a great fucking punk rock record. It's really good. I can't understand why she's not more well known, except for that's how it goes. You know, I mean, we've all like seen a million great punk bands that nobody got to hear, but yeah, hopefully that won't be the case because it's a really good fucking record. What's this now? Death and Resurrection is
My Killing Joke was the last song that Jeff Beck played on stage.
Oh,
So
there you go.
you were right.
Thanks,
Wow,
Bill. Thanks, Bill.
Insane.
Yeah, I thought
That's crazy.
it's crazy. It's crazy, right? Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's a weird little factoid, actually.
Right. I was pretty sure that I read that.
How did you know that? You
It just came up
you heard
somewhere.
it?
It just came
That
up
could be a
somewhere. and I
Jeopardy
just,
question.
I can't remember anything important, but I remembered that.
Well, I mean, you've done some deep dive shit on Killing Jokes, so
That's got
Well,
that's
that's
really
true.
got the makings
That's
of a
true.
Jeopardy question.
Yeah.
But Mike, you're a Jeff Beck fan, so I guess you know.
Yeah. I'm killing. I'm
and a Killing Joke fan.
I'm killing Joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it kind of stuck.
Awesome pick, Billy. That was great.
That's a great first pick. Something
Thanks.
new, something we haven't seen before. Always love that. Yeah. All right.
Fuck yeah.
I listen to the shit out of that record. I really do.
I'm gonna check it out for sure. Absolutely.
Right.
There we go. That was it. Another
Okay.
classic episode in the can. 20 great records. Great chat. Great comments today.
I'm half in the bag.
Let me just announce next week's show.
Good time,
before I
Dan.
forget.
Oh yeah.
Next week, Friday, September 15th, 10 p.m. Eastern. Diane Farris from WFMU Radio.
Fuck yeah.
It's on the show.
Dear friend.
Looking forward to that. It's going to be great.
One of the best people alive.
There you go. Nice. Tony Pence, Celebrate Summer Records, and drum roll, Artie White. Back.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be a good panel next week, like today. So, yeah, I'm excited to have Diane on the show. It's going to be a good one.
Oh,
really
she's
good.
She knows her shit.
So make sure you all tune in next week, next Friday, same time.
I'm
That was
actually
the
going to
sixth-
subscribe.
Yeah, cheers, Scott. Great show. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey,
Right
thanks for
on.
having me.
Here's all the commenters. Thank you.
Fuck you,
Yeah,
brother.
comment
Yeah,
the comment
thanks.
section is like really important. You know, it helps us along. You know,
Thank you to anybody who's
Absolutely.
watching. Because honestly, sitting here, it feels like I'm just talking to three other dudes, and I forget that anybody else is even
Oh.
watching.
yeah, that's after.
Yeah. Well, that's what it feels like the entire time.
And Billy,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
will
yeah.
live on forever now, so people will
Yeah.
see it in perpetuity there. So.
Yeah. Great to be memorialized with my fucking weird glasses.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right, Frankie, right? Is pork chops. Frank,
Thanks, Frank.
there you go. Cheers, Frank.
Thank you, Frank. I can't even read the comments.
Hey,
This is iPad.
yeah, thanks,
Thank
Pam.
you,
Hope you're
Pam.
doing well. Thanks for tuning in. As always, every week. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, Pam. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Pam.
Cheers, Pam. All right. We'll probably continue talking afterwards. We've been
Hell
told
yeah.
some tales of like tours and this, that, and the
Well,
other.
I'm
from
too
Mike,
drunk
so-
to go anywhere else. So
I gotta pee. Like
Yeah,
you
yes,
wouldn't
we'll
believe
do
right
that
now,
first.
too.
All right. Until next time, stay healthy.
Thank you.
And stay.
thanks again for having me.
clean.